Hi, it's Chris Watkin here, and I'm with Mark Bentley, last year's president of the National Association of Estate Agents. Mark Bentley, past president of the National Association of Estate Agents. Is it fair that we're asking estate agents in their 50s and 60s who've been in the business 30 years to get level 4 ROPA qualifications? Talk to me.
That's a very good question, and I'm sure a lot of them would say, no, it isn't fair, and I've done this job for a long time, and I know what I'm doing. But how many other professions do people regularly have to be checked, whether you're particularly on financial services, things like if my youngest child is on medicine, last year learning medicine, you wouldn't want your doctor not to have got an update for the last 10 years. Right now they're all being trained on what's happening with coronavirus, I should think. So you've got to stay up to date and trained. We had one of our conferences recently. We had 10 questions from the level 3 exams, actually, not level 4, level 3 exams, around a room and everyone to fill in the question.
And that level 3 is branch manager level, not company
level.
level.
That's branch manager level. That is obviously with the level 4, it's all about running a business.
That's the bosses, which includes self-employed agents.
It does, and I'll come to that in just a second. Absolutely right. What was interesting on that particular conference, though, is that a lot of people only got 5 or 6 out of 10 or 7 out of 10.
Wow.
And people didn't know, please, I got 8 out of 10. But I should do. But what it just showed people, actually, you've forgotten stuff, or you don't know that, or that's happened since then. So I think people there's nothing wrong in having a refresher and bringing yourself up to date and everything else, etc. And it's actually, again, it's like everything. Learning can actually be fun. People forget that. It can actually be fun. Now, you're right, with ROPA, if you are working for a company, then you need to be up to level 3. And those exams and those papers are available now. And you can start working on them now, and you can do them over 6 or 12 months. And lots of them are multiple choice questions, so you can do them. But if you are a company owner and indeed a self-employed agent, yes, you will need to be qualified to level 4.
Can you go straight in at level 4?
No, you can't. You have to do the level 3 first of all, have the background, and then do the level 4.
So really, even if it doesn't go through till next year, it's the 2022, 2023?
Yeah, we think is looking at, hopefully in this government, so it's going to be 2 or 3 years away, and people will have plenty of notice, but it's going to take a minimum of sensibly, it'll take people a year to get from 0 to level 4, and honestly, with working and everything else, etc., it might be they do level 3 one year and they do level 4 the next year. So I would say a minimum of 6 months, but
it's interesting. I've seen a few people post saying, I've been in business for 20 years, can I just not do any exams and just go and take the exam on level 4? Well, if they're only getting 50% at level 3, you've got to up them on level 4.
I know. It's really interesting. I think I understand people's frustration. What we have, all the guys and girls, is we have great life experience. We've seen lots of properties, we've seen lots of things happen, but you can't rely on what you learned 10 years ago or 20 years ago. And things are changing all the time. So I think if you look at it as self-improving, and as I've said to people, do you know what it's like when you sell a house in your town and you phone the opposing agent, and the junior negotiator answers the phone, who's very friendly and very cheerful, but has only been there a short period of time, and you're asking about stuff and they don't really know what you're talking about and they haven't had any proper training and everything. How wonderful would it be to phone up your opposing agents and agents in the town, and they've had the level 3 training and they know what they're talking about, and they're switched on and they're bright, and you're going, this is quality caliber. What a lovely world it would be when everybody knew what we're doing.
Top tip for you out there is in estate agency land, if you're thinking of setting up your own agency in a few years, you're going to have to get level 4, aren't you?
You are, very much so.
National Association of Estate Agent Property Market do that privately?
They do. We've got all the courses set up, and in fact we've been...
do you have to be a member to go through the courses?
No, you don't. You pay a little bit more. That's which is another good reason to be a member.
Here first. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.